Alright, hi there YouTube, it's me, Morsuit America, and in this video I'll be reviewing over Transcended Draco Greysoul. However, you might notice that this is actually up to date. It's actually on the 23rd of March or 24th, it depends on when I release this video after editing and rendering it. But yes, the reason why I'm making a redo of Transcended Draco Greysoul compared to having it in the 21st, like all of the other videos I made way back then, is due to the fact that there's been some changes, and also I just wanted to redo the video for Transcended Draco Greysoul because it didn't look that good. But anyways, when it comes to the Korean tier list, for example, they released it to the public now, and there's been some changes here and there. So if you guys want me to, let me know in the comments for the other Transcended Allies if you want me to redo them and use said resources to kind of showcase it and etc, etc. But pretty much when it comes to the Transcended Ally videos for the other characters that I did, it provides all of the information about their skills and their abilities and their performances. But if you want me to redo them, let me know. Let me just get started and talk about Transcended Draco Greysoul. Now, when it comes to Transcended Draco Greysoul, you will need his deified Draco Greysoul at ultimate status. You will need an ultimate Dragon Busted Stigma key, 50 Transcended Essences, and 50 million gold. Now, when it comes to the keys, you will not lose your keys. Don't worry about your keys. You will always have your damn keys unless you transcend them later on. Maybe if that's what the Dragon Blaze creators are doing, but pretty much your Dragon Buster key is gonna stick around with you and you're not gonna lose it. However, your deified version of Draco Greysoul will transform into your Transcended Draco Greysoul, and you will lose your deified Draco Greysoul. Now, when it comes to Transcended Allies, you cannot bring them into hero mode. Hero Tower Validation, well, you can't even bring them into Hero Guild battles. And Hero Arena, you cannot bring a Transcended Ally into those modes. So yeah, if you have been using the Hero version or deified version of Draco Greysoul, then you will lose him if you make a Transcended Draco Greysoul. But moving on, Transcended Draco Greysoul is a rogue class character and he delivers DPS. Weapon effects he usually get are cooldown reductions and damage over time. Weapon stats would be critical damage, critical rate, defense penetration, accuracy, or boss damage or weapon attack. And for cards, for single base cards, it could be base attack or very damage, and for dual cards, dexterity and base attack or very damage. And if you have a triple U card, most likely base attack, very damage, and maybe boss, I don't know. Let me know in the comments below like what you guys would get for a triple U card. But anyways, they added a little new feature when it comes to Inotive, and I actually like it. It's this little bar that explains where this ally kind of goes towards. And as you can see, Greysoul is actually in the middle. He's good for both PvP and PvE modes. Now, if you disagree with that, let me know in the comments below. Give me your facts, give me your proof on what you think he is mostly good in. But to me, I do see him as a good Transcendent Ally for both modes. Because he's a rogue character, he delivers DPS, but he's also good when it comes to doing a bunch of other modes because of his abilities. Now, I think the creator of Inotive is fixing this performance Korean chart right now. So I'm gonna assume that Greysoul has a lot of edge in most of these modes, and his abilities still the same stats from the last video I made for Draco Greysoul. So most of his is in offensive, but when it comes to survivability, support, and crowd control, it's still pretty even. But he is a rogue character, and rogue characters usually deliver DPS. Now, before I get started, let me point something out. Even though the Korean tier list has a low ranking for him, apparently a lot of people still like him in the Korean version because he has a rating of 4.7. Now, this could also be skewed due to the fact that people like him, or like his design and stuff, and they just put him up there. Let me know in the comments below too why you think that this score is pretty damn high compared to all of the other ones. But let me swap over to the Korean tier list and showcase their information as well. Now, it says general focus is in PvP, but I think he's good for both modes. Now, Transcended Greysoul is he's one of the first couple Transcended allies to be released into the game. Now, the Korean Dragon Blades already have him, so the rating for him is pretty low, and there's better allies that's up there, like Lucine, or yeah, Transcended Lucine. But when it comes to global, most likely he'll be dominating for the first few days, or weeks, or maybe months, because he's a rogue class character and he can fit both roles. Now, pretty much you can see his release date and stuff, and then see the required ally stuff. You can also see pretty much what I've read off of Inotive, like the suggested skill cards and his suggested magic effects for his weapons. And then you can see a little bit more details about his abilities and what it gives. But let me go all the way over here, because right now Inotive is on, I don't know, he's editing, or he or she is editing the graph right here. So we'll be using the Korean tier list to kind of showcase what he really excels in. And as you can see, Cerberus is really up there. Now, when Cerberus first came out, a lot of you guys told me that I should be using rogue class characters to kind of up my score, and I can see why. I do not have a good score when it comes to Cerberus. But yeah, I do not have a lot of Transcended rogue characters either. So yeah, pretty much Greysoul excels really good in Cerberus, and he's also good in tag matches, and his rating is 7.08 out of 10. And any other modes he's kind of okay in. Arena, guild battles, Golem, Revenger, Belphegor, Tower Validations, he got a high rating for those. But when it comes to bosses, he's not as good, but he's something. It's the Transcended Ally as well, so they do deliver a better amount of DPS or support or whatever they give compared to the deified versions. But pretty much that's I can't speak apparently. Transcended Draco Greysoul. Alright, so let's go over his abilities. His normal attack inflicts Destroyer debuff onto a target. The debuff will instantly kill targets with 4 stacks. The debuff is not effective on boss type units, thus only inflicts damage to them. And now this is what his normal attack looks like. He orders his hoovering blades to just stab his enemies, like just flies right into them and then just like inflicts damage to them. And let me know in the comments below if this destroyer debuff is 100% guarantee, or there's a certain percentage to the enemy getting said debuff. Now moving on, let's talk about his active skills. His first active skill deals 7,034% of damage and removes all buffs. For every destroyer mark upon the enemy, 33% chance to instantly kill the target. Deal 6 times damage of this skill to boss units instead. Cooldown for this is 19.4 seconds, and yeah, his cooldown is very high. And even if you reduce it by a bit, it's still gonna take a while for his actives to kick in. Now, this is what his first active ability looks like. He pulls out his other 2 katanas from his belt, and he just goes ham on one of the enemies, and he just flies all across the air and just lands all these attacks on them. And I feel pretty bad for the enemy, but he looks like a badass, and by he, I'm referring to Greysoul. But yeah, I'll do it one more time, and then I'll move on to his second active ability. Second active ability deals 3,986% of damage to all enemies. For every destroyer mark upon the enemy, 33% chance to instantly kill the target. Deals 6 times damage of this skill to boss units instead. Cooldown for this is 24.1 seconds. Alright, so I had to cut away for a bit because I had to answer the phone, but this is what his second active ability looks like. He has his 3 blades, hoovering blades, fly all across the screen and hit all of these enemies. And this is basically an AoE attack because it's hitting everyone. So yeah, looks badass once again. And I'll do it one more time. But yeah, that is his second active ability. His last active ability summons his alter ego for 14 seconds. For 1 second, it cannot be attacked. During the duration of his alter ego summon, he does an additional 209% damage, stacks up to 3 times. The damage he receives will be shared between him and his alter ego. His alter ego are immune to damage. Cooldown for this is 15 seconds. Now, before I move on and talk about his passive abilities, max ability, and ultimate ability, I'm confused by the last 2 sentences. It says his damage will be shared between his alter egos, but his alter egos are immune to damage. What does this mean? Does his alter ego not receive any sort of damage whatsoever? Let me know in the comments below. I want some clarification when it comes to this third active skill. But if his alter egos don't receive any sort of damage whatsoever, then I think that's kind of broken. But let me showcase what the third active ability looks like. Most likely he summons his alter ego. Now when it comes to this test screen, he does not exactly summon his alter ego. I don't know why. In my opinion, I think they should let him summon his alter egos so we can actually see what he does. But most likely you can see his third active ability if you have him. Physically have him and take him onto like dungeons or PvP or boss modes. You can actually see his alter egos. But when it comes to this test screen, once again, you won't be able to see his alter ego. But he does a fancy little sort of summon. And his monkey actually gets tossed up in the air, or he jumps up into the air. Moving on, let's talk about his passive skills. First passive skill, the blade that holds the soul. Greysoul's normal attack removes 1 beneficial buff from 1 target and inflicts 3 times damage against boss types for his normal attack. Additionally, he is immune to instant kill and self-incoming range, damage -40%. Second passive skill, the God of War. Increases dexterity for entire party by 30%. For each Draco and allied team, increase self-dexterity plus 10%. Now, when it comes to the second part of their second passive, I think all of the Dracos have something that benefit them as long as they have another Draco on the team. But they also provide a lot of buffs for the entire party as well. So if you have like an entire Draco party, I think you're gonna get like a lot of oomph out of their second passives. Moving on, their max skills. Soul Predator. Greysoul can now invoke up to 3 alter egos, and if Greysoul kills an enemy, his active skill 3 cooldown is restarted. So yeah, pretty much that's self-explanatory. Once you get Greysoul to max status, he's able to get a lot more, and if he kills someone, he restarts his third active ability, meaning he can summon one of his clones, and then the third active skill will kick in as well. And like it's stated, it stacks up to 3 times. Moving on to Greysoul's last skill. Ultimate skill states that his boss damage is increased. No, his boss damage plus 70%. When an enemy dies, his attack is plus 133%, attack speed plus 6%, piercing damage plus 22%, for 38 seconds, stacks up to 10 times. Increase summon time by 5 seconds for each of his alter ego. That sounds like a major self buff right there, and you definitely want to kill Greysoul ASAP. I can only guess, but pretty much that's it when it comes to Transcended Draco Greysoul. Let me know about him in the comments below if you guys have him, if you should get him, if he's gonna get released into Global, if he's good to have still when it comes to the Korean Dragon Blades, or are there other Transcended allies that excel better than what Transcended Draco Greysoul can offer. Let me know all of that once again in the comments below, and I'll see you guys around. Hopefully this informed you guys on Transcended Draco Greysoul. But once again, I'll see you guys around. Peace.